Hey, I'm Roland with Mobile Geeks and we're right here at the Samsung After Unpacked event. It's close to 12 at night and Samsung has finally managed to get some hands-on devices to the party, and what we have right here is the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. So that's the new 5.7-inch Full HD super high-end phablet from Samsung, including its stylus, and we're going to compare it to the HTC One, which is basically HTC's high-end device right now, except for the fact that they have the One Max coming up, but that's not out yet, so let's compare just the HTC One to the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. The first big difference, and it is a big difference, is actually size. So the Samsung Galaxy Note is actually 5.7 inch and the HTC One is only 4.7 inch screen, although they both have Full HD screens. Let's give it a quick look at the size difference, and it's definitely massive. It's a full inch difference between the two devices, which you can actually easily tell, right? Another thing is they both have Full HD screens, but the Samsung is actually using a Super AMOLED panel, while the HTC One only has, or not only, but differently has a Super LCD screen in there. The brightness on both devices is right now turned down because we're running really low on battery and it's been a long day. But I can tell you that the Samsung display is actually a bit brighter, but that's due to the Super AMOLED screen in there, so they just can make it way more bright, right? Otherwise, the HTC One actually has a Snapdragon 600 in this case that's running at 1.7 gigahertz. It's got a quad-core CPU in there. And the Samsung has the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 800, which is actually also a quad-core CPU, but this one's running at 2.3 gigahertz. So there's a bit more power in there, and you should actually be able to notice this in everyday usage, except for the fact that Samsung's interface might be slowing you down a bit. Another difference is actually the HTC One only has 2 gigs of RAM, which is quite a lot still, but Samsung is actually upping the game to 3 gigs in the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Otherwise, they're both pretty much the same, so we got 32 gigs on both devices as base memory. They're going up to 64 gigs. What else do we have? HTC is actually using their ultra-pixel camera, as we all know, and the Samsung actually has a 13-megapixel BSI sensor in there. It's not actually able to do 4K video like the new Acer phone, but 1080p and 120 frames slow-mo should be available on the Samsung Galaxy Note. Another big difference is what you can see here. The HTC One has a metal finish that's made from one aluminum block, while the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 has this Fox leather back. So they have there's a mesh on the back, or it's got this leather look. They even have stitches on the side, which you might be able to see on this white device right here. And another big difference is the HTC One you won't ever be able to open, except when you're in Asia and get one of the versions that are available there with a removable back. But the Western countries are only get devices without that. But the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 actually has this small thing up here where you can actually put your finger in and kind of tear off the back, so you can take that off and actually remove the huge 3200 milliampere hour battery. There's a micro SD card slot on there too, which is somewhere around here. This is actually the SIM card slot, I think.
It's stacked on top.
Oh, they're both on top of each other, so that's why it looks so weird for me right now. You can actually switch the SD card slot, the SD card, and that's another difference right there. The HTC One only has a 2300 milliampere hour, I think, battery, and that's probably gonna not be as long living as the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, the new one. And another major difference is actually that the Galaxy Note 3 has this nice little stylus down here. Since it's a Note device, I can't really get it out right now. There you go. So with this device, with the stylus, you can actually launch special apps. So if you go into, for example, messaging, and you go down here and you hover it above this, it pops up this tiny menu right here, and you can actually start writing stuff in here, and you can again hover and delete, or you can delete, and there's a bunch of other features that Samsung is actually realizing through this S Note pen right here. Yeah, price-wise, Samsung actually says it might be about the same price as the Galaxy S4, but they're not sure about that yet. It might even be cheaper than that. So this has been the Galaxy Note S3. We keep saying S3 nowadays because we're mixing up the names. This has been the Galaxy Note 3 at IFA 2013 compared to the HTC One. I was Roland with Mobile Geeks. See you later.